Hi guys, I'm back with another video, and summer 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most stacked isekai seasons in recent memory. Brand new adaptations are landing right next to franchise returns that fans gave up waiting for, and almost all of it hits in July. Some of these have been gone for nearly 5 years. Others are shows nobody had even heard of 6 months ago. We're getting OP heroes, banished knights, a wandering Saintess, and one dungeon crawler the whole community is already obsessed with. Today I'm counting down the top 10 new Isekai Anime of Summer 2026, worst pick first, all the way up to the one everybody's hyped for. A few dates are still being finalized, so I'll flag anything that isn't locked. Let's get into it. Number 10 is the Forsaken Saintess and her Foodie road trip in another world. Heidi grabbed the exclusive, and it premieres sometime in July, though the exact date isn't locked yet. The story drops you in next to Rin, a Saintess who gets cast aside by the people she spent her life serving, and instead of plotting revenge, she just wanders off to eat her way across the fantasy world. There are no big fights here. There are no dark twists either. It's food, scenery, and a small cast taking their time, which is exactly the point. When the heavy hitters start frying your brain, this is the palate cleanser you throw on. For a pure action fan, that slow pace is what plants it dead last. Number 9 is Though I Am an Inept Villainess, a fantasy series set inside an ancient Chinese-style palace where the real danger is gossip, not monsters. Our lead wakes up in the body of a noble girl and has to outmaneuver the politics packed behind those palace walls. Here's the part that turns heads. The manga got a personal shout-out from the author of the Apothecary Diaries, and fans have lined the two up ever since, so the comparison bar is brutal before episode 1 even drops. This one runs on slow burn intrigue and quiet tension, not flashing swords. If you came strictly for action, it'll feel patient, but that sharp writing could make it the sleeper of the season. Number 7 is hanaori-san. Still wants to fight in the next life, dropping on Crunchyroll the same month, and it runs one of my favorite isekai tropes in reverse. Instead of an MC getting yanked into a fantasy world, the magic crashes into ours. Monster brawls share the screen with a comedy romance built on two former enemies who keep inching closer. The palette is bright and the cast is loud. The fights move fast and hit quick. After a brutal day, this is the show you put on to laugh and switch your brain off. It won't fight for the number 1 spot all season, but reverse isekai stays rare enough that it feels fresh the second it starts. Number 6 is the failed Sage's Academy Domination, also running under the longer title From Overshadowed to Overpowered, adapted from the light novels by Studio EMT² for summer 2026. The hook does something I haven't seen much. The MC burns through 2 full reincarnations instead of 1. He's reborn out of our world as a magician, completely flops his first attempt, dies again, and comes back a second time, carrying every lesson from the run before. By that second life, he's ready to take the Magic Academy apart from the inside. Double reincarnation angle keeps a worn-out setup feeling new. If you live for written-off underdogs becoming the strongest kid in the room, mark this down. Number 5 is The Exiled Heavy Knight Knows How to Game the System, animated by Studio Gohands for summer 2026. Meet Elmer, a noble stuck with the so-called useless Heavy Knight class and booted out of his own family over it. What none of them clocked is that Elmer reads the game-like rules of his world better than anyone, so the class everybody mocked turns into a quiet cheat code. Real talk! Gohands has a hit-or-miss history, and their loud visual style is genuinely divisive. The premise still goes hard. That punishment and revenge angle loads the stakes from the first episode, and if the studio sticks the landing, this is a dark horse that catches people off guard. Number 4 is Skeleton Knight in Another World Season 2, and this return means everything to the people who held on. July 2026 is when it finally hits Crunchyroll. Season 1 aired back in 2022, so we're talking a near 5-year gap between cores. The story follows Ark, a gamer who wakes up trapped inside his own game avatar, a full suit of skeleton armor he can never take off in public. He works as a mercenary, saves who he can, and guards the secret under the helmet. Now here's the catch. A different studio is handling Season 2, which means the look could shift from what fans locked into memory. That's a real risk. The weight alone still makes it must watch for the original crowd. Number 3 is The Beginning. After the End Season 2 pulls from one of the biggest webtoons on the planet with a global fanbase already circling the release. Summer 2026 is the reported window, but a couple of listings place it differently, so treat the timing as not fully locked. At the center is King Grey, a powerful and deeply isolated ruler who dies and gets reborn as a baby named Arthur Lewin in a world stacked with magic and monsters. Season 1 walked us through his strange second childhood and his early training. Season 2 is where the source material bears its teeth. What sets this apart from the Isekai pack is simple. Arthur loses, struggles, and earns his power instead of steamrolling everything on sight, and longtime readers have waited years for these exact arcs to finally get animated. And real quick, if you're enjoying the list so far, you already know what to do. Now let's get into the top 2. Number 2 is Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation Season 3, and this is where the season gets serious. July 2026 is the premiere, landing almost 5 years after that first episode aired, and for a huge slice of the fandom, this is the show that defined modern isekai. The story follows Rudius, a man who wasted his entire first life, gets a second shot as a baby, and swears he'll do it right this time. Studio Bind has never cut corners on this one. The sakuga in their fight scenes and the detail in every spell are the reason people singled this franchise out. Season 3 reportedly brings major characters back into the fold and pushes Rudius into his next big arc, with Eris expected to return to the main story, which alone has people counting down. There's a weight to watching Rudius grow that most isekai never even reach for, and that's why this one keeps pulling people back. Following from the start, and this season feels like a payoff years in the making. It's emotional, it's gorgeous. Honestly, it's the safest bet of the entire summer, and even people who usually skip isekai make an exception for this one. Number 1 is Tomb Raider King, and if I'm ranking pure hype, nothing else comes close. Studio EEK premieres it on July 8, 2026, and fans are already calling it the next solo leveling. The story follows Seoju Hyun, a tomb raider in a modern world where mysterious tombs have ripped open everywhere, each one holding a relic that grants its owner real supernatural power. His own employer betrays him and leaves him for dead inside one of those tombs. Then everything snaps. Ju Hyun wakes up 15 years in the past, long before a single tomb appeared, and now he knows exactly where every relic will surface and goes hunting to claim them first and pay his betrayers back in full. You get dungeon crawling, an OP protagonist, and a hero who already knows the ending. That's the pitch, and it goes hard. The power scaling alone is going to wreck people, because Ju Hyun walks into every fight already knowing how it plays out, and watching an MC weaponize future knowledge like that never gets old. The first season is reportedly a single core of 11 episodes, with the band choir on the opening theme. One flag for international fans, a worldwide streaming home hasn't been confirmed yet, so keep your eyes on Crunchyroll. If you've been craving that solo leveling rush since it went on break, this is the release build for you, and it's the one I'd bet on to blow up this season. So that's my full ranking of the top 10 new Isekai Anime of Summer 2026. Now I want to hear from you. Which one is your personal number 1? And do you actually think Tomb Raider King can live up to the solo leveling hype? Or is that comparison setting it up to fail before it even airs? Drop your pick in the comments because I read them. And if you made it this far in the video, make sure to smash that subscribe button for more anime content just like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out!